Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Clutter. I'm your host, Margo, a professional organizer specializing in chronic clutter. And today's episode is all about holiday decluttering tips. The holidays are just around the corner. Whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or anything else, it is important to prepare in advance so that we can eliminate the stress and anxiety of the holiday season. So if the thought of holiday hosting is stressing you out, here are 7 easy things that I myself get done to prep my home for guests. Let's start with number 1, and you're going to be super excited about this one. When it comes to preparing for the holidays, you want to focus on areas that impact your guests. So you want to forget about anything behind closed doors. Yes, this is your get out of the decluttering free card. Your garage, your closets, your attic, and your dresser drawers just don't matter right now, unless you have that mother-in-law that spot checks your house and creeps behind the toilet to check for dust, in which case, I'm sorry, and please don't take her seriously. But what you want to do here when we're prepping for the holidays is you want to forget all about the things that your guests won't see. You can tackle it in January. Hopefully, maybe your New Year's resolutions is to achieve a clutter-free and tidy home. But when it comes to preparing for the holidays and being stress-free, or rather less stress, I don't know if anybody can actually be stress-free over the holidays because there's a certain level of normal stress that comes with hosting. I myself host Thanksgiving at my house, and my mom actually hosts Christmas. So with that said, number 1, focus on areas that impact your guests. Number 2 is to create a holiday decluttering schedule. If you have listened to any of my podcasts or my YouTube videos, you know that I am a lover of schedules, to-do lists, and plans, and they are so important. This is what eliminates being on a schedule, having a to-do list, knowing exactly what you need to do and when. Please take a few minutes and invest the time to create a schedule for yourself, right? If you have 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, break it apart and create a to-do list for every day or every week, knowing exactly what you're going to do. Every holiday season, I start with a decluttering and cleaning schedule. I also have a meal prep and shopping list. Having a little to-do list makes life so much easier and reduces your stress and anxiety around the holidays. I am also more than happy to share mine with you all. You can find a free link to it in the show notes. So it's actually a full list of things to declutter. It's my own personal schedule, meal planning, shopping list, all that fun stuff. Again, it's completely free, and you can see a link to the holiday schedule in the show notes. Paste it on your fridge and go down the list, checking each item off as you go. When creating your list, you can divide decluttering responsibilities with roommates or other members of your family. A great tip for creating your personalized list is to pretend you are the guest in your own home. I know that can sound kind of silly, but just bear with me for a second. Walk out of your space and walk back in, pretending you're the guest. What do you experience first? Where do you go? What room and stuff do you need to have access to? What do the 5 senses tell you, right? What can you smell? What can you see? What you can hear? By doing this, you're going to get a really good sense of what should be on your holiday to-do list. All right, let's move on to tip number 3. I always, and I do mean always, start with my entryway. First impressions matter. Your entryway gives guests a quick overview of what to expect in your home. So if your entryway is clean and tidy and smells good, your guests might be tempted to overstay. Their welcome. Okay, so step 1, you want to declutter your entryway closet to make space for guests' coats, gloves, hats, and anything else they need to be stored away. Don't forget to add extra hangers if necessary. For a quick declutter, get rid of the bulky items first, especially if you are strapped for time. So move, relocate, declutter things like bulky coats, shoes, large gear you might be storing there, and boxes. Don't worry about being thorough. The intention is to make enough room for guests to comfortably put and take their stuff out. If you have hooks for a haul tree in your entryway, take a few minutes to ensure that you have enough extra hooks for guests. If not, you can head over to the local dollar store for some command hooks. Something I also do for the holidays because I have a pet peeve about, well, two things actually, shoes being worn in my house. Like guests can't go past my entryway and have their shoes on. I don't know. I go bananas. I'm just not about that life. I also have a pet peeve when it comes to shoes just kind of being thrown in the entryway. I find that especially if you're having kids over and just in general, folks over, it's like a tripping hazard when your entryway just has a bunch of shoes in it. So what I do for years when I have guests over, I actually take out a collapsible bin and I put it in my entryway and I instruct my guests to throw their shoes in that bin. And once the holiday festivities and hosting is over, I put the bin away. It has been a game changer. And again, it's a collapsible bin. So think about storage, super easy to put away afterward. All right, let's move on to number 4. So next you want to focus on where your guests will be sleeping if they are staying over. The office that converts into a guest bedroom, maybe you have a dedicated bedroom for them, maybe you're putting them in your basement, whatever. Whatever the space is, focus on making it warm and inviting, and of course, clutter-free. So here you can declutter the nightstand, you can declutter the office desk if it applies, declutter and put away those boxes in the basement, make space in the closet, and maybe empty out a dresser drawer depending on your setup. If you're having guests from out of town, here's a little reminder and something that we sometimes overlook. You want to make space for their luggage. I like to go a little above and beyond by ensuring that there's water and fresh flowers in the room on the nightstand, obviously allergies permitting. The more comfortable our guests are, the happier they are. The happier they are, the less we are stressed. Another great holiday tip here is to focus on the top 80% causing the most amount of clutter. So try to get rid of and declutter large pieces of furniture and other items. So guests should have enough space to comfortably move around the bedroom. So take a quick peek on the floor. Are there boxes and bins lying around? Declutter them. If you don't have time, well, shove them in a closet, close the door, and, forget it's there. Number 5, declutter and tidy up the bathroom that will be used by your guests. If these are bathrooms that are not going to be used by your guests, well, save them for later. Start by decluttering the sink. Only leave the necessities. I also like to create a little basket with guest toiletries. So things like a toothbrush, toothpaste, razor, a blow dryer, ibuprofen, mouthwash, and feminine products. This is what's in mine, but of course, curate yours in whichever way you see fit. Or maybe you're like, Margo, are you out of your mind? Like, I'm not setting up a freaking basket for my guests. That's totally fine. You don't have to go above and beyond. I like to keep my guests happy because if they're happy, they're less stressed, which means that I'm less stressed. Make sure you have extra toilet paper that can easily go on your shopping list. Declutter old and unused toiletries and place a fresh garbage bag in the trash can. All right, number 6, you want to make space in the fridge and freezer since you will be meal prepping for more people. So take some time, declutter your refrigerator, declutter your freezer and pantry. You don't have to do it all at once, which is why having a decluttering and cleaning list is so valuable. And again, a free version of mine is in the show notes. Tackle the pantry and toss what has expired and stuff that you and your family won't eat. Next, tackle the refrigerator. Same rules applies. Shelf by shelf, drawer by drawer. Get rid of sauces, condiments, old Chinese takeout, expired juices, etc. Finally, go through your freezer. That mystery meal, let it go. If you're not sure what it is because it's changed colors since the last time you got it, time to say goodbye. And for added space, you want to take stuff out of boxes, especially if you will be storing a ton of stuff in the freezers. Boxes, while they appear more organized, actually take up valuable real estate space. As you are decluttering your fridge, your pantry, and your freezer, this is an incredible opportunity for you to grab a pen and paper and quickly write down items you need to buy to restock and add for the holidays. It is wonderful to do this while you are decluttering because it is fresh in your mind. And I also love to stack up on lots of wine to help me get through the chaos of guests. Kidding, not really. All right. And finally, tip number 7, add smells. So candles, diffusers, flowers. A lot of what we experience, or rather a lot of what our guests experience in our homes are through smell. A few last-minute touches of candles, diffusers, or fresh flowers can seriously elevate and enhance your home. And again, I want us to be mindful here. If you have guests coming who have allergies, obviously, unfortunately, we cannot put any of the stuff out. But if your guests don't have allergies, then go ahead and make your home smell nice. Before investing in new stuff, declutter your existing candles and diffuser collections. This way, you know exactly what you need to pick up at the store. So those are your 7 holiday decluttering tips to prep your home for guests. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you have an incredible and beautiful holiday season. As always, thank you so much for listening. Good luck on your decluttering journey, and remember to be good to yourself.